Hey, how's it going everyone? Welcome back to another Rec Room News video. Now in today's Rec Room News video, I'm going to be talking about why Rec Room doesn't have PSVR 2 support yet. Now I do want to say I did actually make an older video of this, and that was about 9 months ago, and it did really well. But I have to be quite honest, and I have to say that it's actually outdated. As time goes on, things change, and I think it's about time that I actually update my information about PSVR 2 support inside of Rec Room. Hey, did you know that I have memberships? Of course, massive shout out to all my channel members: Sony Robot, Garlic Bread, Peanut Butter, B3599, Chicken Prince, Noodle Official, Zipical, Ace the Narrator, Potato on Skates, BBB Burning Owl, Eric OVR, TechSci, Trevor A, Random Person GM, Jack Tutorial, Mr. FLRR, Cloud, Netflix 69, Box David, and Dozer Blade Cat. Thank you guys for supporting the channel, and of course, if you're a Squidling, I also appreciate your guys' support as well. Now, let's get back to the video. Now, inside this video, we'll be going over a Reddit post that was actually kind of fawned upon for a few days and stuff like that. It's a very long essay talking about why Rec Room isn't coming out on PSVR 2 and how that's a Sony issue and not Rec Room's fault. Now you guys can pause and read and stuff like that. I'm gonna really just cut it up here so we can save some time and stuff like that, and let's get into this actual post. They make it clear that at this point Rec Room coming to the PSVR 2 is likely not happening. This is disappointing news to hear from folks who do own the headset, and a lot of people have blamed Rec Room for this. But believe it or not, Rec Room is on more platforms than basically any other video games beside Roblox and Fortnite, despite being a way smaller game than both of them. If Rec Room was able to make this port over to the PSVR 2, they probably could. Case in point, months ago RR announced that they were launching a port for the Apple Vision Pro, a brand new headset that doesn't even have controllers, which they also have to make new features for and stuff like that. So it sounds a lot harder than porting the game to PSVR 2. So why isn't that happening? This post basically boils it down to 4 major points. For our first point, PSVR 2 has no games. This sentiment was echoed by IGN editors a while ago. The only response to this was the fact that you could play Moss and Walking Dead, even though these are available on Quest, and you could compare this to Meta, who is continuously funding entire games like recent Adgar's Wrath 2, an original title that had an entire advertising campaign. For reason number 2, PSVR 2 has no support. First Contact was the studio behind the Firewall games, which were only on PSVR. They developed the top shooter games on PSVR, and they recently closed for the lack of support and expense gouging. For fact number 3, Gribblys, the actual Rec Room developer in the recent AMA, even says himself that the PSVR 2 makes no financial sense. And for point number 4, an ex-dev had this to say on Gribblys' response with his 2 cents. To Rec Room's credits, on a PSVR 2 port, Sony is a laughably bad partner. They don't do anything to support PSVR 2 development, and they make it their mission to have the most frustrating cert process possible for getting your game certified. Furthermore, because Rec Room is a free-to-play game, the process is doubtably difficult for a variety of reasons that I either cannot mention or do not remember well enough anyway. This is because they are strict with titles that are free to play online, which you do not need PS Plus for, and in their opinion it really makes no sense because you guys can play Rec Room with a PSVR, or you guys can hop on screen mode on PS4 or PS5. Even though this is happening, you still need to get your game recertified for PSVR 2, and they've been doing the bare minimum for PSVR 2 platform support. And they still expect developers to pony up the cost completely importing and testing their game for PSVR 2. They treat it as if they just want the third-party devs to magically decide to port to PSVR 2, as if that will save the platform and lead to more sales, etc, etc. They also go to say that if you were to ask the devs of Zenith if the PSVR 2 was worth the time and cost, they would flat out tell you no. In hindsight, they would probably have taken that time and money they sunk into the port and invested it into an existing game, accessible on Quest 2 or 3 and PC VR 100%. This is the single issue that was covered in the AMA that I can take Rec Room's side on. PSVR 2 support will only happen if Sony shapes up and gives PSVR 2 and third-party devs the support it needs. Whether that's working with devs to make ports easier, not being a hard ass just because your game is free to play, and maybe offering financial incentives to offset developer costs. So obviously a whole lot of knowledge just got dropped here. If you guys are curious about this recent Rec Room AMA, I will drop that link to that actual Reddit post down inside the description below. Of course, I wanted to just update my PSVR 2 support, Rec Room videos and stuff like that, and massive shout out to King Phenar for making this actual Reddit post. He wrapped it up really nicely. The link to this Reddit post and the AMA will be down inside the description below, and of course, feel free to leave your guys' thoughts. Do you guys even own a PSVR 2? Of course, if you guys like this video, feel free to like it, and of course, if you guys don't like this video, your headset will no longer be supported on Rec Room. Of course, folks, thank you guys all for the love and support, and I will catch you guys into the next one. Use code SKULL instead of Rec Room, SK0L, or go into my profile and click that support button. Without any further ado, be sure to subscribe!